Good afternoon. Sorry to interrupt your very delicious lunch. I feel a bit awkward to just stop you eating. But please continue eating. I hope you enjoy eating, and I just hope you could pay a bit of attention to what I'm going to say for promoting ASEAN-Japan business cooperation, explaining this in the overall framework of ASEAN-Japan cooperation as a whole. So first, I'd like to express my gratitude to Mr. Cecil Leong, Chairman of the 49th AJBM in Singapore, and also the Mr. Hirako Yuji-san. Thank you very much, the co-chairman of the AJBM,経済同友会. And I'd like to give applause to the whole Deloitte team. I'm greatly impressed by the commitment that you made to this AJBM process, rejuvenate, and excel in the process. And also, thank you very much also Mr. Chi Hong Wan for showcasing the good innovation center. I went there and I'm greatly impressed by the forward-looking innovation that embodies the future of ASEAN-Japan cooperation as a whole, I believe. So I'd like to see such innovation taking place everywhere across ASEAN and Japan as well, for the benefit of the whole world. I'd like to just be concise in my presentation for just give you food for thoughts. The next slide, please. Just 3 topics. One is what have ASEAN and Japan achieved together? And second topic is what are the common challenges of ASEAN and Japan? And third, what steps will ASEAN and Japan, that's we, take together? So the past, the present, and the future. And let me first touch upon this first part. What have ASEAN and Japan achieved together? I think we had a very good opening session where history was explained, especially by Hirako-san, starting from this 1973 ASEAN-Japan synthetic rubber talks, which changed this rather threatening, confrontational ASEAN-Japan challenge into the success story of collaboration, followed by a Fukuda doctrine, where people-to-people, heart-to-heart relationship is greatly emphasized. And I think that led to trust that Ambassador Tomiko emphasized. And that trust is now a great asset which needs to be fostered for the future. And that made a great tone for today's meeting and the AJBM in the next 50 years. I would capture this relationship in a slightly different way. Simply put, ASEAN and Japan have overcome together the challenges a number of times. That is, we became the friends in need, facing all the challenges. So this start, as a matter of fact, of the challenge of peace and security in Southeast Asia. At that time, there was ASEAN 5. I was told by many of my diplomatic colleagues from ASEAN countries that at that time, there was a Vietnam War, Cambodia was a very challenging situation, Laos was a difficulty. So it was not evident that ASEAN is stable and prosperous. Japan came first to support ASEAN unity and expansion across the region. So that very first part is the beginning of our history. But then, around and after Fukuda doctrine, there was a period of this industrialization and expansion of ASEAN. You know, the Flying E style, the industrialization of ASEAN was prompted by Japanese investment, linking all the supply chains, making most of respective strengths of ASEAN countries. And I observe that thanks to all the efforts and commitment by Japanese companies for many years, that made the tremendous economic development of all ASEAN countries possible. That was another time of our relationship. Then the financial crisis struck the region in 1997. Then Japan was called upon again, and together with China and the ROK, this ASEAN Plus Summit was held in 1997. And then to address these financial challenges, the Chiang Mai initiative was launched, and then in 2010, the multilateralization took place. So these are overcoming the financial crisis. That's another Miyazawa initiative. All those were made by Japan's engagement. In around 2000, ASEAN has become solid and firm, now becoming ASEAN 10 instead of ASEAN 5. The time is for ASEAN community. It was in 2007 and 8 that ASEAN Charter was agreed upon. And this ASEAN community building process started. It was at that time that the Japan ASEAN Integration Fund was launched in 2006, and then ASEAN's and East Asia Summit's think tank was established with Japan's strong engagement support. It's another international organization. And then the AMRO, the macroeconomic center here, I think that was established and strengthened around this time. So this ASEAN community building process is supported by Japan in a big way. And then the time came to address social challenges. First, in 2004, you may remember the Indian Ocean and tsunami earthquake that struck the region, and Japan came. And in response to that, it was in 2011, AHA Center, the ASEAN Disaster Management Center, was established. And with strong attachment to this issue, with long experience, Japan was instrumental in making it, realizing this center in the ASEAN region. And at the time of COVID-19, again, this ASEAN Plus 3 mechanism was mobilized, and the summit was called upon by ASEAN side. It was on that occasion that Japan made a $50 million commitment to make the infectious disease center. It's called by ASEAN ACFeed. So it's now after coordination, I hope it will start soon. Thailand and I think Indonesia and Vietnam, 3 countries are coordinating each other to establish a center. Again, Japan made a commitment. So Japan supported those initiatives by ASEAN. So looking back, so as the environment changes, Japan always came in, and that was the source of trust that we achieved. But the environment is changing, and we need to respond, or rather preempt, the upcoming changes. So could you turn the slide? I just skipped that. Adoption was the, I think, key. I think that's valid today. Then the current challenge. 2 things. I must say, I think the important challenge is, as a matter of fact, peace. I think peace is, especially in the last 2 years, as you see what took place in Europe, in Ukraine, and now in Israel and Hamas, a situation is greatly changing. It's quite a change in decades. And maintaining peace is very important. And ASEAN, responding to the rising tensions in the region, ASEAN announced the new perspective outlook on the Indo-Pacific AYP. And Japan announced its version of Indo-Pacific vision 3 years ahead of it. And then it was Japan which endorsed this ASEAN initiative just a year after that, in 2020, at the summit level. And ASEAN's rule-based order to maintain in this region with good communication and engagement of all major powers and partners engaged. That is ASEAN's dynamic equilibrium tradition. First engaging ASEAN Plus 3, then EAS, then AOIP, diluting, expanding the network, always playing the role as a convener at the center. I think that is a experience and wisdom of ASEAN that Japan fully endorse and support. Another big challenge that we are facing now is the global challenges that we've just discussed this morning. Decarbonization, digitalization, or circular economy, green, everything. But all the innovation, all those and smart cities as well, and all those things, there's a need is over there. So I list up those things here, and so those came right away. And then next slide, please. It was against that background that we are commemorating the 50th year of ASEAN-Japan friendship and cooperation. So it's a historic opportunity that we must grab. And it's difficult to read, but just to let you know that in the course of a year, all the ASEAN-Japan ministerial meetings in various sectors like tourism or agriculture or economy or energy or say digitalization, business as well, and finance, and all those, and sports even, all those things took place and made a series of announcements leading up to the upcoming summit. And the next slide, please. The basic framework, pillars of this new era of cooperation has been long discussed with the engagement of Hirako-san by this the eminent experts panel. That is, I think at this point was amplified by Ambassador Tomiko's speech. I don't repeat, but this regional order, and society for economic development, sustainability, and fairness, and the mutual understanding and the trust at the foundation of a partnership. So those are three pillars were presented. I think we are now the government is now working on how to strengthen and materialize those pillars. And the other initiative that we took is the next slide, please. This ASEAN-Japan economic co-creation vision, or the business community and the government both work together, both from ASEAN and Japan, to make those four pillars that also Ambassador Tomiko explained, this sustainability and innovation, connectivity, and human capital. I remember that the Ambassador Tomiko said that human resources, it's a common phrase, but now it's not the resources to be spent, but capital to be utilized. I think a human people as something which would use as a capital, rather not something to spend. So based on this vision, the next slide, please. This future design action plan was agreed upon by the governments of both ASEAN and Japan. And you see on those 4 pillars, you see this digital technology on the right-hand side, human capital, all those young Z generation summits, and also the DX open innovation, and this energy transition, which is a big topic that Japan is proposing and working with ASEAN with ASEC and AT initiatives. So what to do next is the next challenge. Next slide, please. So for Japan, ASEAN will continue to be important for 3 key reasons. One is I repeat that it's a strategically important location at the border. It's linking the Pacific Ocean and the Indian Ocean, and the growth center. And thirdly, it's a hub or multi-layered regional cooperation. For Japan, for those reasons, ASEAN is so important, and for ASEAN, Japan is a trusted partner. So what shall we do? I think it's really in line with what this AJBM is doing. One pillar is co-creation to bring about practical solutions under this AOIP, this Indo-Pacific region. That is making use of Japan's experience, technology, and financial capability, and in the wide area of ASEAN, which is growing and facing a number of economic and social challenges, which Japan also shares: digitalization, decarbonization. So those measures are now being proposed and discussed under this ASEAN-Japan cooperation this year. Prime Minister Kishida in March announced this Japan-ASEAN Integration Fund 3.0, which is a $100 million grant donation to be used for AOIP and other ASEAN-Japan collaboration projects. And then Connectivity Initiative was announced in September this year, just 2 months ago, by Prime Minister Kishida, promoting not only infrastructure and transport, but also people-to-people connectivity and digitalization as well, including cybersecurity. And then Asia Zero Emission Community Initiative, ASEC, is a Prime Minister's initiative that was announced last year and to be made more concrete and operationalized this year. And the environment space and the areas a new center on digital innovation and sustainable economy based in Jakarta, which will be used for not only for think tank function, but also to be used as a platform for practitioners, collaboration and training and networking. And in the field of agriculture, I think decarbonization is a big issue, and production increase is another area. And the innovation is promoted by this new Midori Cooperation Plan, ENAC-FEED and disaster management, all those are being strengthened. But the next slide, please. I must say like AJBM, to make all those concrete, practical solutions be created, what I think the government feels and what the eminent people, experts advise the government, that we need to invest, enhance our investment for promoting exchange, always to deepen our understanding and trust. Only with touch and investment, those concrete collaboration and solutions can be materialized. So that trust element, as Ambassador Tomiko emphasized, that is something that we need to emphasize and invest in. So for that reason, I think Japan started working with ASEAN in WA project 10 years ago. That $200 million US dollars volume of cultural and people-to-people exchange, including Japanese language education. So we are now working on how to strengthen this cultural exchange element and young people's exchange genesis. And we started this SHIP program where ASEAN young people and Japanese young people got together in a ship to spend for 2 months. And that was quite remembered for so many senior people now, including some ambassadors based in Jakarta from the Philippines. So, and I understand that this new generation leader summit, like Generation Z or Young Business Leader Summit, I think this is being now planned and to be launched in universities and science technology innovation network that is being strengthened. So those trust fostering initiatives have been promoted, and it is my hope that this AJBM could play a role of linking those young people with the business sector in addressing all the challenges and providing solutions across the board. So please, next slide, please. So this is the last slide. So what we are expecting next month is this December summit. The summit itself will take place from the 16th Saturday to the 18th Monday, but the preceding the summit meeting where all the leaders get together, including Prime Minister Kishida and your leaders. There will be a Young Business Leaders Summit and Generation Z Business Leaders Summit in Karuizawa from the 13th to the 15th of Friday. Then their outcome will be brought to the attention of the business leaders at the Economic Co-Creation Forum and also the Leaders Summit. So it is my strong hope that this AJBM process will make a strong and valuable input to this upcoming summit just next month, so that it will be followed up with strong endorsement and blessing for the upcoming AJBM meeting next year in Thailand. And I think this summit process this year and the Golden Jubilee of AJBM next year will be mutually reinforcing. So I'd like to conclude my short remarks by emphasizing the importance of this opportunity. And I again commend the Deloitte group for making a huge investment in this process to just rejuvenate and empower this. I think why invest, not only Deloitte, but all of us? Because, you know, Japan has technology, but ASEAN has all the growth and challenges, and we have a trust. And this is the opportunity that we could seize. And I learned that AJBM's new vision perspective is a platform to create economic and social values. I think this is a new way based on this World Economic Forum style. I think not driven by organizations, but driven by issues and aiming at creating values. I think this ASEAN-Japan cooperation 50 years after the inception. We need new vitality and energy and perspective and vision so that we can all come on board. And we are giving birth to this new process this year, today, so that we could create the solution not only for ASEAN and Japan, but also for the entire Indo-Pacific region and the world. And I heard from one of your members that there is a important thing to make things happen and successful. One is vision. Vision is not sufficient. Having had vision, you have to have a mission. It is we who's going to do it. Then action, what to do. But you face challenges always. To overcome the challenge, you need a passion. So I heard that it's a remap. So I hope that this process will, business sector will harmonize and reinforce the government process so that we could jointly create the next 50 years for our benefit, for our kids and for grandkids. Thank you very much.